Have you ever imagined or experienced a younger family member or a sibling being abducted or assaulted in some manner? Would you know what to do in this situation or who to contact? Well, how many of you here today have heard of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, otherwise known as the NCMEC or the Center? More than likely you've heard of them through John Walsh on America's Most Wanted, but regardless of affiliation, I chose to talk about this nonprofit organization because we share a similar belief. We both believe that children should live their lives to the fullest and never a moment in fear. And I believe I'm qualified to inform you about the Center's history and what they do after extensive research. But first, let's take a glance at their recent past. Unfortunately, it took several grave incidents to create this incredible organization. For example, on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's website, they report in their article, Mission in History, that a young boy named Eaton Pax was abducted on his way to school in New York and was never seen again. Furthermore, they state that 29 children in Atlanta, Georgia were abducted and murdered in the late 70s and early 80s. And one of the most known abductions of this time would be that of young Adam Walsh, the 6-year-old boy who was abducted in the Florida shopping mall, and his body was found over 100 miles away from his home. The Center further informs us that in 1984, police could enter information about stolen guns, stolen cars, and even stolen horses in the FBI's national database, but not of stolen children. And fortunately today, this is no longer the case. For Donna Leland and Emily Bazaar reports in their 2008 article for USA Today that federal law now forbids waiting periods for missing children that are reported. And as a result, more missing children come home safely today, and more is being done to protect children. And this is largely due to the establishment of this organization. The National Center reports on their website that on June 13, 1984, they were opened by President Ronald Reagan shortly after the Missing Children's Assistance Act was passed. And now that we've looked at their brief history, let's take a glance at what they do. As we know, the National Center serves as the nation's resource on the issue of missing and sexually exploited children and are dedicated in bringing them home safely. But have you wondered what else they do? Well, Nancy Duke informs us in her 1999 article for GlobeSearch International Search for Missing and Exploited Children that the Internet Service Provider community and the Center teamed up to form the Cyber Tip Line, which deals with online crimes against children. Basically, this is a reporting mechanism for children and their parents who have been victimized in some ways on the internet, and ever since its creation, it has fielded over 5,000 reports and has resulted in the arrest of the majority of its vendors. Ms. Duke also informs us that they forge strong partnerships with law enforcement, other nonprofit and child-serving organizations, and the general public in the efforts to search for America's missing children. A U.S. News and World Report informs us in the 2001 article, Protecting Presidents and Children, that the Secret Service is one of the law enforcement agencies that has been helping this center since 1994. And this is largely due because Congress expanded their mission due to their world-class forensic experts and their cutting-edge technology used to fight crime. As well as this, Andrew Noyes informs us in his 2008 article for the Congress Daily that President Bush doubled the funding to $40 million per year until 2013 to help refund and reorganize the center. These funds have allowed the center to create child locator centers and develop technology to help track patterns of attempted child abductions. The center informs us on their website that they also provide information and resources for law enforcement, parents, children, including children who've been victimized and other professionals. And because of this information and resources, law enforcement today is now better trained, better prepared, and they respond more quickly in the issues of missing children. Today, we have learned about the history of this life-saving organization and what the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children does. It's unfortunate that an organization like this has to exist in our country today, but it has become absolutely necessary in ensuring the safety of our youth. Thank you for your time.